What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Mike and Ant. I am the Ant portion of Mike and Ant, and I'm with my co-host, the Mike portion of Mike and Ant. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, bro? We some sad news here in the NFL world.
Yeah, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Rondale Moore passed away today. Right now, they're saying that it's under investigation, but according to reports, it was a self-inflicted wound, so it looks like it's suicide. Um, he was only 25 years old. It's um, such a sad way, such a sad story. You never know what anybody's going through. This will be the second one now in less than a year. We had Marshawn Leland of the Dallas Cowboys kill himself during the season after a day after he had like one of his best games of his career. So it was sad for the Cowboys, and it's sad now for the Vikings doing what they're doing with losing a teammate. But Mike, what's your thoughts on this?
Crazy situation. I seen a couple of his teammates or a couple of people that were his teammates before say they talked to him within an hour of the situation. I mean, sad news. Young kid fighting through injuries the last 2 years. Probably in a state that he don't know too many people in. I could imagine a few things that was going through his head. But this is why some of these kids need to go get the help that they need. Not putting anything on him, but if there's anybody that in the organization that feels that these kids need help, they should be going out of their way to get it for them. Because I don't believe this is something that just pops up overnight. There had to been signs of this.
Yeah, but I mean, I think sometimes though, at least with my experience, I've lost a friend to suicide. And sometimes you really don't see the signs until like it's too late. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
you kind of ignore them, and then of course they're not going to tell you that they're going through shit. A lot of times they just keep it to themselves and they put on a happy front in public, but in private, they're struggling. So it's kind
yeah.
of hard sometimes.
No, I get that, but I'm not even talking about from like a friend standpoint. I'm talking about as far as like organizational standpoint. Like these kids are watched 99% of the time, everything they do is scrutinized. Whether it's a club situation, whether it's this, you pay all this money, for their training facilities, all this stuff. You would think that they have psychiatrists just to check on these kids every few months to make sure everything's going all right. That's kind of the aspect I'm coming from. Not saying like the people closest to him should know. A lot of them probably ain't even near him to be even knowing what's going on. But as
Yeah,
far as the organization you play for, I think the NFL needs to do a better job of just checking on these kids' mental health, even if it's periodically.
you think it should be on the NFL or the individual team?
Um, I think the NFL it should be on all of it as a collective. The NFL should push this, as onto the teams. This should be something that all the teams should be taking care of. There's probably a few other things you could add to that list, but definitely, I think that this. I mean, evaluations from time and time again, even if you don't think things are going on. Because you got to remember the CTE and the concussion part of this. So there's like a lot of different reasons why they should just be checking on these kids. So you can't put it on individual teams if the NFL ain't pushing it. But I do believe that this should be something mandated through all 32 teams.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think obviously mental health is important, so like there should be something in place to check on these players, and even if it gives them somebody to talk to in the facility. I think that's something that should be pushing. I
Yeah,
think for the NFL to pass it goes on the union to force them to pass it on the players union, to force these teams to at least have like a like you said, a psychiatrist on site that they can just talk to, maybe after practice, before practice, whenever.
at the end, if you see them take big hits during games, you know how they do the concussion evaluation. Like it should go a little bit further than that. I think so. I think come for someone that's had a lot of concussions, you can kind of trick your way out of concussions. And some people just absorb things different, but that's what the doctors and stuff should be there for. You know what I'm saying? Not just to check on you physically. It's like they're forgetting about the mental part.
Yeah, And it's also too, I think it's interesting that he did this in his hometown. So at least he was around like I won't say
Yeah,
around family, but he was like near vicinity of family.
but that's definitely the crazy part. 'Cause the off season, so he wasn't gonna be sitting in Minnesota if you don't know anybody there. I mean,
Yeah,
but at the same time, going back could have been fed into some of his demons. We don't know exactly what was going on there. So, I mean,
that's a good point.
yeah, rest in peace to Rondale Moore. I mean, the NFL lost it. I mean, a great person. Didn't hit his full potential as far as a player, but his skill set. He could have been special. Unfortunately, injuries hampered him, and now, I mean, a way bigger loss. We don't know exactly what happened, but we know that this is most likely something mental. I want to just put prayers out to his family, him, the organization and the league, and say I hope they do something after this to make sure they're checking up on these young men.
Yeah, and also I do want to throw it out there, and I said it earlier, but I repeat it. It is under investigation, so we don't know for sure if it's suicide, but they're saying that it's more than likely self inflicted. That's what they're reporting. But if it's something deeper than that, and 'cause like I said, this did happen in his hometown, so we don't know if maybe it went another way and he was murdered or what. It's under investigation. We'll see how it plays out. But either way,
Yeah,
it is a sad situation, and if it is suicide, then like we were saying, maybe the NFL or NFLPA should do something to help these players, get the help that they need. Whether there's like a psychiatrist on site that they could talk to, or if it's, I hope it's not murder, but if it's something worse, we'll see how the investigation goes. Then that's even a sadder situation, and hopefully, you can catch the person who did it.
yeah. I mean, definitely a sad situation. Side of the coin, it would be murder or suicide. A young man lost his life. So,
Yeah.
lastly, I'll say just, I mean, prayers go out to everybody that's around this. I could imagine what they're going through. And I mean, one last thing, make sure the NFL. I need the NFL to step in and figure this type of stuff out.
Yeah, because we had the Marshawn Leland situation back in November or October, I think it was, and then now this, and also too for the Minnesota Vikings. Granted, it's a totally different situation, but they lost a player 2 years ago. Didn't even play for him. Actually, he just got drafted. He was a rookie. Died in a car accident. So
Yeah.
that's like 2 and 3 years for the. Excuse me, that's 2 years in a row for the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going through it. So hopefully, even if the NFL don't step in, teams like the Vikings, even though the car accident is kind of way more unpredictable, and there's not really anything you could do there.
Yeah,
Um, but hopefully, the Vikings, just for taking this trauma for the past 2 years, put things in place to help their players, even if the NFL doesn't decide to step in.
I agree. I agree.
We'll, we'll move on to the next topic, but we'll give him a 10 second. We'll give him his 10 seconds of silence before we move on.
Yeah.
You know, prayers out to excuse me, prayers out to Rondell Moore. And going on to the next topic today, we got some Max Crosby news. We've heard who he would like to be traded to. Um, I'm sure there's probably at least 15 teams that are probably interested. Doesn't mean they could all make it work. What do you think are the best fits for him? And what do you think is the right price to bring in a Max Crosby for a team that's contending?
Well, okay, so there is Max Crosby would like to go to the Bears. That's one of the teams he'd like to go to, and then his the NFC North rival, the Detroit Lions, are also another team to look at because he's from the Detroit area, so it'll be him going home.
Yeah,
And then there's also rumors that the Bucks are interested. Me personally, I like the two NFC North teams. I think they can, especially the Lions. I think they could really use them to help that defense.
yeah,
That's been their Achilles heel the last 2 years. And then the Bears. Everybody thinks the Bears had a great defense last year because they led the league in turnovers, but their defense wasn't good. They were just opportunistic.
yeah,
And so I think um, adding Max Crosby could actually help them take that next step. They're a team that, I mean, let's be real. They should have went to the NFC Championship game. They should have beat the Rams. But
Yeah,
I think had they had a Max Crosby, they might have won that game. So I think the Bears could really use him. He could be the difference between them going to the Super Bowl or not next year. So I think the two NFC North teams, in my opinion, will be the best spots for him. The only thing about the Bears, though, is that according to the rumors anyway, is that the Raiders they're asking for like two first round picks and DJ Moore.
yeah, that's a bit ridiculous right there. Um, I still think I know he said this probably early on. I think it was before the Super Bowl. He'd like to also play for Vrabel. I'll throw the Pats in for a sleeper. And you can never leave the Rams out from making a blockbuster move. You know that they're always willing to try to go out on a limb to make something happen. Um, so those would be probably the top picks. I'd say that the Lions is probably my favorite landing spot. I think him and Aiden Hutchinson would be a force.
Yeah,
Blue
guys.
Crosby's what, like late 20s, maybe 28, 29.
Let me look them up.
So I think that for the next, 4 or 5 years, if the Lions can get him there, that could be arguably, what definitely one of the top five D lines in the league as far as pass rush. So I think the Lions would probably be my favorite to go make it
Yeah,
happen.
he turns 29 in August, so
Yeah,
right before the season.
Yeah, he'd be perfect to pair up with Hutchinson for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I agree. And another name like not too many people are talking about, but it's also maybe because he's older. He's 31, but Trey
Yeah,
Hendricks of Cincinnati, because Cincinnati only brought him back on a 1 year deal, so he's a free agent. But I think any team that doesn't get Crosby, I think they'll be looking at him.
I believe so too. I definitely believe so.
Unless they cave in to Joe Burrow and resign him, because Joe Burrow said he wants to keep Hendricks in.
Well, here's my thing, right? So whoever trades for Crosby, you're gonna have to pay him. Probably gonna or extend him or do something, right? I'm not sure the exact contract he's on right now. I think he might have got one in the past couple of years, right?
I think
Uh,
he just signed an extension.
was it this year? I think it was
Uh,
within the past few, right?
no, it was last year. So he's whatever team draft trades for him, he's under contract until 2029. So you don't have to worry about him for at least another 4 years.
So you're just taking the contract over. It might still be a little bit of tinkering with the contract because I don't know how it's gonna be when you trade those big contracts. I know that a lot of that load is gonna fall on the Raiders. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. But my next question would be this: why I asked that? Knowing that you're bringing on a big contract or extension or potentially you have to adjust and maybe even add on to a contract, regardless how it goes, right? Is two first round picks too much?
No, because the Cowboys got two first round picks for Michael Parsons. So I think I think if I'm the Raiders, that's where I'm starting. Is
It-
we think Crosby is just as good or if not better than Parsons. So let's start with two first round picks and we'll move our way. We'll negotiate up from there.
yeah, I would look at it like because if I'm negotiating back, I'm looking like Micah Parsons is like after Garrett, he's probably the next guy when it comes to getting the quarterback, right?
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if Crosby's in that realm. I think after those two guys, there's probably two guys is a big drop off, and I do think he's one of the best of the position. I personally wouldn't give up two first round picks from. I don't think he's worth that much. I
Yeah,
think
because
that
the
might
thing
be
about Michael Parsons is Michael Parsons was second in the NFL in sacks this year behind Garrett, and he only played in like 11 games.
yeah, and that's this is what I'm saying. So I don't think Michael Parsons is a guy that has another gear if he decides to give it to you. I think we've seen Crosby at his best. I don't think we've seen the best of Micah Parsons yet, especially now where he wants to battle for that sack record. We might see the best of Micah Parsons later, and I don't think that we're
Yeah,
gonna
but
get it.
see, you're thinking logically. The Raiders, they're just saying like, this is what the Cowboys got, so we ain't negotiating unless you start from two first round picks.
I think a first and a third would be probably where this trade lands.
Like, with the
They can
Bears,
play.
like, the report it's just a report, so just a rumor,
Yeah,
but, like, if the Bears trade for him, the Raiders, they want 2 first-round picks, a 3rd, and DJ Moore.
yeah, that's too much. Like
Yeah,
if
see, if
you,
I'm the Bears, I'm not making that trade. Another
yeah,
one too, another report I've been seeing right now is the Cowboys are interested. So they're saying, like, the Raiders are saying, like, "Okay, if you want, Max Crosby, we want 2 first-round picks, a 3rd, and George Pickens."
yeah, it's crazy. Like, yo, here's the thing. If you're the Cowboys, a first in George Pickens is probably still a overpay. But I guess that'd be doable. I'd prefer to give you a second if I'm giving you George Pickens. But the that's the same thing I would say with DJ Moore. If you want DJ, think like this. If you're the Bears, if you believe that he's the player that's gonna put you over the hump to win a championship, you make the trade. But here's the problem: giving away DJ Moore makes you worse on offense. So bringing him in on defense, I don't know if he's the piece away when you just gave away one of your best skill position players. So it, I don't think they're a piece away if they're giving away one of their most important pieces, even though they're gonna.
I agree with you, but if I'm the Bears, I'm looking at it like this, because you and we talked about it the whole season. DJ Moore, he might be their best receiver, but Roma Doomsday is the one that gets the most targets,
Yeah,
because him and Caleb are like best friends on the
yeah,
team.
yeah.
So Caleb always looks Rome's way, and we you and I talked about it. There's games where I don't even think DJ Moore probably gets like 1 or 2 targets, and that's it, because
It's
Caleb is
true.
so focused on Roma Doomsday. So if you're the Bears, you can say, okay, for whatever reason, the chemistry is not there between him and Caleb. It's there between Rome. We could trade DJ Moore, and then maybe either Luther Burden goes from 3 to 2, or the other kid, I can't think of his name, number 20, that caught that game winner against Green Bay. But maybe he can move up to that 3rd spot too. So maybe they're looking at we got some young receivers that we can build up, and then plus Roma Doomsday, who's a Pro Bowler last year. Him and Caleb, they have a great relationship. Caleb targets him most of the time anyway, and then they got the 2 tight ends with Loveston and Komet. So maybe they look at it as we can afford to lose DJ Moore if it gets us a Max Crosby.
I agree. I agree. I'm just gonna go out a
I
limb.
just wouldn't give up 2 first-round picks though if I'm giving up DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even think I would give up 2 first round picks, period. Imma just end it like this. Let's take some guesses where we think he lands, right? I
Alright.
told you I think Detroit would be probably the best landing spot. Um, but with that being said, I'm gonna say he goes to the Patriots for like a first and a third.
I say he goes to the Cowboys because I think Jerry's the only one dumb enough to give the Raiders what they want.
So you're banking on stupidity.
Yeah.
What I'm looking at is this. Um, Obviously the Patriots need a little bit. They need to do a little bit on offense, meaning wide receiver. I'm interested to see if they go after maybe a Thomas Jr. or a AJ Brown, obviously in the offseason, and what that would cost them, because that could change the Crosby situation. But I think that the Patriots are probably one player away from being able to get a Super Bowl if they
Yes, I
do it.
think the Patriots defensively, they're set. I think it's just offensive they need to work on. And to your AJ Brown point, even though I know he wants to go to the Giants now, but I
Yeah.
think I think it's more realistic that he goes to the Patriots. There's no way the Eagles are trading them in division.
Did you see him on the Julian Edelman podcast
No, I didn't see that. I missed that.
like a day or two ago? He said, "Because you know we're all Patriots," and he winked at
Uh
him.
yeah, 'cause I know there was rumors because like he's been working out with Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors. And then he posted that shirt with the Giants shirt, but I was like, "There's no way the Eagles are trading him in division." I think I could see him going to the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots is his favorite team. I remember like a couple years ago in the off season, I seen him opening a Patriots jersey. I was mad confused early in the morning, but it was
I mean,
the
he is from Mississippi. There's no team in Mississippi.
yeah, and then was is one of the Patriots sent him a signed jersey, and he was opening. I was like, what the hell is he on a Patriots jersey for? But then I seen the story that he grew up a Patriots fan. So, I mean, that I think that if the Patriots can pull in an AJ Brown or just any other receiver, I think that Max Crosby can put them over the hump. Um, I don't think he could do it for the Bears, especially not if they lose DJ Moore.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I think, but I'm with you though. I think his best spot though would be the Lions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if I'm him, that's where you want to go to because who did they double team? You or Hutchinson? Like Hutchinson might be better than him when fully healthy and at his best. Think he probably is. I'd probably give the
And
nod to.
he's 5 years younger.
Yeah, I mean that definitely gives him the edge if you're making a team. But I just mean as far as premier player, I think I'd give Hutchinson the nod. I seen him snap his leg and have him come back the next year and go crazy again. So look, he
Honestly, Max Crosby, he can be for the Lions what Reggie White was for the Packers back in the day. Like the
exactly.
Packers, they had the talent, but once they got Reggie, they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So maybe that's what the Lions need with Max Crosby. Plus, he's from Detroit, so
yeah.
he be going home.
Yeah, and he gets a chance to try to bring his hometown, his home state, um, or around his area, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
hometown, whatever it is. Um, he gets the chance to bring them a ring, which they haven't got. You know what I'm saying? So I look at
yeah,
it like this.
50.
Yeah, I would want to go to Detroit if I was him, and I believe that he would get a lot of single looks in Detroit because I believe Hutchinson's the guy you still would double team, and if you decided to go Crosby, Hutchinson might break the sack record. So I think that that's one of those things where you might want to make it happen if you're Detroit. If I'm them, I'd gladly give you two first round picks because they don't need much. They need a little bit of help in a few areas, but they can give up the first round picks. They just got to hit in the later rounds. A lot of these other teams, I would not even think about giving up two first round picks. No way in hell.
All right, we looked at it from Max Crosby's point of view, but if you're the Raiders,
Yeah.
do you lower your asking price or do you keep it where it's at?
Yeah, I mean, if you've already told them you're gonna move on and this is an unhatchable situation, yeah. I mean, you find the you find. I'm not sure if he has a no trade clause or if they're giving him a say in where he's going, things like that. But if there's a spot he wants to go to and they're close to your asking price, whether it's a first and a third versus a first and a first, um, yeah, I think they could lower the price. An extra first round pick isn't gonna hurt when you're the Raiders and you actually get your quarterback with the first pick. So think to pull in another first round pick this year would be huge for them.
Yeah, you might be get a if you get 2 first-round picks, you can get a quarterback and a receiver.
Yeah, and this is
But
what.
there's reports that Mark Davis wants to keep Max Crosby. So maybe if you're Mark Davis, you can because all this shit started really is when Pete Carroll put him on IR because it was clear that Pete Carroll was tanking because
Yeah,
they were trying to lose that game against the Giants. If you remember, the
yeah,
loser gets the number
yeah.
one pick. Um, so maybe Mark Davis can talk him into staying and just say like, "Hey, this was like Pete Carroll shit. Pete Carroll ain't here no more."
Yeah,
But if
I mean,
it's something that he can't fix and can't reconcile, then yeah, if I'm the Raiders, I keep my asking price where it's at.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If if it's unfixable and nobody gets close to an asking price, like if I want two first and the highest offer I get is a second round pick, yeah, I'm not trading them either. Like I don't mean that type of situation. But if my asking price is two first and you call me and you're like, look, I'll give you DJ Moore a first and a fourth, that's a deal. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's all I'm looking at. It's like I'm not saying that get completely off of it, but DJ Moore, you got to remember he went for a first. He's a pretty good player, so you got to at least value him. Say you value him at a second. That's a first, a second, and a fifth. That's enough. Like you don't need two firsts if a player's involved. I've seen people saying the Rams should give up two firsts and Byron Young. That's crazy. Like you don't give away 13 sacks and two first round picks for a guy that's probably just going to give you the 13 sacks. It doesn't make sense to me. So for some of these teams, I don't logically see it. But once again, if I'm the Lions, I would give up the two first.
Yeah, because if you're the Lions, you're looking at those two firsts are basically glorified seconds. He's gonna be drafted in the later first round anyway.
Yeah,
I don't see him having the type of season they had this year again next year.
yeah,
I
and
still blame this season on Dan Campbell because they were in first place in their division until he decided he wanted to start calling plays,
yeah,
and that's when the team just fell apart.
yeah, and the thing too is not only will those be late first rounders, the truth is the Lions they're set at every top position you need. Running back, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback. They got great pieces on the O line. They got a lot of good defensive players. Health has been more concern over there. So if you could stay healthy and get a Max Crosby, what do you really need in the first round? And that's why I think they have the luxury to be able to pay that price.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And with that being said, let's get into a little bit of funny news.
All right, so our boy Kevin Durant, he he got caught with another burner account under "Get Off My Dickerson," where he said some wild stuff about some ex teammates. He said Steve Kerr doesn't like dark skinned people because Michael Jordan punched him. He only fucks with light skins like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. He said that Devin Booker and Frank Vogel are like Stalin and Mussolini and Hitler. He said that Russell Westbrook is like a triple double cocaine bear. He said that James Harden is delusional. Chris Paul doesn't know shit about basketball, and he said that his teammate Shagun can't shoot, can't play defense, and he also talked about his other teammate Jabari Parker and said some things about him as well. So I mean, if this is true, because he wasn't just talking about former teammates, he was talking about current teammates as well. If this is true, do you think this hurts the Houston Rockets?
Man, I don't think it hurts them because regardless, he's a great player. He'll probably get a little slap on the hand. What I want to know is how did he get caught? And I'm hearing this story in real time. You touched on a little bit before we jumped on, but I completely missed this. I need to know how he got caught.
So somebody posted screenshots of the burner and all the shit that he was saying.
Yeah.
Apparently, this was no, in the group chat, and so I'm pulling it up now. Yeah, it says you can't trust like you see you can't trust Jabari Parker at a gas station because it moved. He said that if you want to yeah he said you can't hold he said Ben Simmons he said Ben Simmons was his favorite team. He'd rather play with Ben Simmons than Russell Westbrook because Ben Simmons will actually pass him the fucking ball. He says that Jabari Parker can't get a stop or shoot. He says that if you want to see something uncomfortable, hold Steph Curry accountable in film sessions. So and then yeah, he said that because MJ punched Steve Kerr in the face, that's why Steve Kerr doesn't like dark skinned black people. That he's a racist, basically.
Who outed your boy KD? That's all I need to know. And also, did he comment if he ever got lotion?
Well, they asked him to comment about it, and he just basically just said that like he ain't worried about it, and that he didn't deny or confirm that it was him. He just said that he just focused on the season. But then
Listen,
he made a post saying that he has he's moving to Threads.
yo, your boy's out here wilding. He must be getting ready. I hate to say it, but I feel like he could be the next AB. He's about to go. He's about to lose his mind when he leaves the league.
Yeah, so somebody asked him. Somebody asked him like, "Why'd you trade Kyrie for Ben Simmons?" He said, "At least Ben Simmons passed him the fucking ball."
Yeah, man. We thought CT only exists in the NFL. Man, KD's changing the narrative. Man, your
Well,
boy,
that's what get off my Dickerson. That's what he
yeah,
said.
man, that boy wild. Well, the truth is, I don't know why he's attacking like NBA players. I guess it's kind of funny. Um, I would have it would have been a better story. I think just better in general had he been attacking the media that attacks the players. Instead, you're attacking your peers, which is kind of corny. I would have rather had him come for Skip Bayless and them.
Nah, but see, the thing is though, is that like he's only attacking people that he either plays with or had played with. So it's kind of like him, like bitching about his coworkers type of thing. It's just that he's on Twitter with a burner account, and then I guess he just didn't think anybody would see this shit. I guess,
He needs
but
to stay away
somebody
from
saw it,
that.
screenshot it, and then he won't deny it, and he won't like confirm it either. So it just makes it even worse because like it's kind of because based on tweets that he posts on his regular account, and then you read the shit on Get Off My Dickerson's account. It's like actually I like the name too, Get Off My Dickerson. I wish I would have thought of that.
That's pretty funny. He
Yeah.
got that. He started off good, and then he
Yeah.
just went left.
But it's like if you read the tweets to get like it sounds like some shit KD will actually tweet out. And I think that's what got him fucked up.
I
Like
believe
people
it.
start putting two together. It's like, KD and Get Off My Dickerson kind of sound the same.
I guess we'll just put it like this, right? And we could end it like this, unless you have anything you want to add on. Buying or selling that this is KD's actual burner account.
Well, me personally, I'm buying it.
Yeah, I'm buying.
Because
I'm
he's
buying.
been caught with the burner account before. This ain't the first time.
Yep, I'm buying. That's what was my first thing and say, look it, he's the boy who cried wolf at this point. I'm buying. The next one they say is his, I'm buying that too.
See, my only
So
thing with KD, these burner accounts though is like, my guy, you're almost 40. You're like 38 years old. Like at some point you gotta get off this. Just stay the fuck off the phone. Just get off your phone.
yeah, at some point you would think so. But man, KD gonna do KD. He's one of those guys that he's so good. This will probably be swept under the rug by tomorrow. Um, I appreciate the Golden State Warriors jabs and the holding Steph accountable in during film sessions. Those ones was pretty. He should have kept it a little bit more funnier, like on that line. And I think that even they would have enjoyed the burner account. Like, you know what? I got some spice for you. Throw this up there. But a few of those, he went a little bit too far to the left.
Well, I mean, what about like calling? He's basically calling Steve Kerr a racist. But it's
That's
funny because everybody knows the story about Michael
Yeah,
Jordan punching him in practice.
yeah. I
So it's like, yeah,
mean,
that's why Steve Kerr don't like black people because MJ punching him
yeah,
in
I
the
know,
face.
but I just say this. Those are the ones I think he should have stayed away from because it's obviously, and I don't know the guy, so I'm not gonna, say Steve Kerr is or isn't. He obviously has a different relationship with him than I do. But the thing is, though, um, outside of Kuminga, and that was weird how he just sailed him, didn't want to pay him, paid him, sat him on the bench.
He's dark
Different
skinned.
story. Yeah, but I mean, are we forgetting that Draymond's there? Like, is Draymond not dark skinned? What about like KD yourself? Not only did they bring you there and give you rings that you wasn't gonna get without them, they tried to keep you and they tried to trade back for you. Did they not like you? Little, I don't know.
Maybe he felt like they didn't like him. And I thought, yeah, another thing too. I thought he left because Draymond called him a bitch.
That is why he left. It didn't have nothing to do with Steve Kerr. Then why Steve Kerr got to get the left hook? Because he already got beat up by Jordan. He don't need another one. So it's like, look it, bro. Those are the ones. It's like, look it. Unless you got something like an ace in the sleeve, leave that shit alone. But the
Well,
jabs,
not only that, but like Jordan whooped his ass, and him and Kerr became friends after that.
that's what I'm saying. Kerr still hit game winning shots for Jordan. It's like, look it. Let Kerr live, man. Kerr used to have a mean three bus back in the days. I'll tell you that.
Jordan beat it out of him.
Yeah. First there was Paxson, then there was Kerr.
Yeah,
So Kerr definitely did his thing, and I appreciate that. I'm not gonna just say Kerr's a racist because you made a burner account. Because the burner account part is a little weird. I'm already giving you a pass. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect people that need to make burner accounts. Just stand on what you're saying, and it's more respectable, even if people don't like it. But with that being said, I want to make sure everybody watching hits the thumbs up, comments, subscribes. gets on over to X, follow at Mob Squad 508 for me and at Inspector underscore Ant for Ant over here. Let them know where else they can listen to us, my brother.
All right, you can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and don't forget Spreaker.
Sprecher, the mean streets of Sprecher.
Yeah,
And with
we
that,
in them mean streets of Spreaker.
for real. And with that being said, we out.
We out.